Okay, so Mandy, I'm so glad you're here and to hear about your project with Saving Miss America.
Yes, that is the name of the project, yes.
And yeah, I'm very involved with the beauty pageants. I'm a former Mrs. America, or Mrs. Florida America actually, but we host the Mrs. America here now and Mrs. World. And we also hosted the Miss America pageant girls at our house in Orlando, Florida, our big mansion, and here at Westgate Resorts. And when I heard about you and your project, I was so excited to meet with you here. I'm so excited. Can you tell me more about your project that you're working on?
Absolutely. Well, first off, I'm so excited to be here with you, and it feels sort of fortuitous that I was put in touch with you. That's been some of the big part of the mission of this project is connecting with new people in the pageant world that have these intricate pasts, and experiences, and being able to highlight on them. So to get to meet you and to find out that you have all of this experience, not only in the pageant world but with Miss America, I'm excited to incorporate that into the documentary. So I've been doing it for the last year and a half.
Wow.
I started it when there were a bunch of changes going on in the program, and I was inspired by women kind of speaking out to try to better the future of the program. And in that, I realized I started looking at my own experience and wondering why I didn't always share that with the public about my pageant past and all of the good that it did for me. And so I just started talking to friends that I knew that competed in the pageant world and interviewing them and wanting to really understand what their experience was to broaden the outside perception. So ultimately that has led me to you to also hear your intricate journey of competing and how pageants have bettered your life and your world. And I even think we're going to expand beyond Miss America in ways. While Miss America is the symbol, what everybody knows, there is this whole pageant industry out there that I'm beginning to learn a lot more about, and I see what they're doing in the present day. So.
And the one thing I have doing the Mrs. America, so once the girls have already gotten married but they're still beautiful and love the pageant system and everything, we have another home for the next stage in their lives.
That's so cool. I mean, maybe I'll be inspired to compete for
we
Mrs. California.
We need your wife
something.
to enter the pageant.
The pageant bug has kind of bit me again with this film. I'm not going to lie.
You should enter.
It's fun. I didn't even know that Mrs. United States was happening this weekend. So I'm excited to explore. And learn more.
But the Mrs. America is actually the August 24th.
Oh, okay,
so
got it.
So if you want to come back for that, you
Okay.
definitely let me know.
Right, I will. Yes, I'll definitely let you know. That would be amazing.
And then I'm excited about our interview here, and I kind of need some, want to go through a little bit of my wardrobe and touch up my makeup.
There you go.
Okay, so I don't know what to wear for my interview. Well, this might be too sexy.
Yes, that might be.
But it is Vegas.
But it is. You're right.
Maybe that's for later.
Yes.
Or for a different interview. Oops.
Yes.
So keep this in mind for later. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe with a little jacket. And then I've got this gown.
That's very pretty.
I think I could wear something like this for the interview.
Yeah, that could be
really
for
flattering.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice color.
And I brought a little bit of everything, and then I also have a business suit.
Yes.
Oh, the light.
Maybe it's Elvis Presley. It is.
There you go. Maybe.
Oh my God! It's Elvis Presley's 50th anniversary. That's why I'm here
Yes,
in
and he
town in
stayed
Las
here,
Vegas.
right?
Yes.
This is where he used to stay when he was
This is where he used to
Well,
stay.
Yeah, in
well,
this room.
well,
these rooms.
Actually, it's just
Oh,
right above
right
this
above.
room,
30th
right
floor.
above here. But
Yes.
he also was in this room too, so that might be his spirit.
There you go.
Maybe. So which one did he click on? The gown or this one?
Yeah, when
I
you
think
said
he clicked on
business,
this one.
actually was
Or this one?
when you save that for dinner.
Okay.
The blue one I think is
Okay.
is the one because the collar
The blue?
looks so good in it pulls the color from your eyes.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
And
That would
then
be
I just want to powder my face real quick for
Yes.
the interview out here.
Yes, let's do it.
All right, so.
We can- Yeah, and keep shooting.
Or does he want to shoot in the mirror maybe?
Yeah, because he's gonna see the reflection of the mirror, so he has to.
All right, how much more makeup should I put on?
You don't need a lot. You look good.
I'm okay?
You're okay.
He's gonna, with the bow tie and, yeah, it's a proper butler.
Yes.
It's a rough life, right? But I'm so busy. I mean, I would cook the food myself. I just don't have time. Oh, there's
If
Gordy.
there's anything you
Yes,
need.
Gordy.
Hey,
Yes.
I need you.
Yes, Gordy.
You need me.
Yeah, tell Jackie how you've been talking to all this.
Are you ready for me?
Stations, so.
No, I've just kind of been pre-pitching
Yeah.
that this is going to be coming up and letting them know so that,
Right.
we'll get, once we're ready, we'll get that going.
That's fantastic.
Fabulous. And let me go
We
do
try.
this interview real quick and then we'll
Okay.
catch up.
All right.
So I've been asked by the infamous Cal Marshall to come and interview Jackie and to interview David on their foundation, on Victoria Siegel, and really just to dive in on the topic of opioid addiction and really understanding how these two are helping to make a big impact in not only our community here in Southern Nevada, but our nation as a whole.
I love my husband so much because he's my support system. He's got me through the loss of our daughter, the children, younger, like in middle school, so we can save their lives. This guy over here, here's some of the, I thought it was spraying for mosquitoes. And I just went cave diving yesterday with my kids, or cave exploring.
Yeah.
And we were spraying the bug spray because we had to hike through a jungle to get to the cave. So I think that's like the first thing that came to my head. Like, oh my God, the mosquitoes followed me, you know?
Something on it.
Okay, David, you need a minute?
Mm-hmm.
You're fine?
For the dragons, the
Komodo dragons.
oh no, not the Komodo dragon, thank God. Although we had some small, like, I don't know, those
Bearded dragons.
bearded dragons, yes.
Anyway, we spend more money on dog food and bird food
And crickets.
and crickets than we did on our feeding our other children.
Whew. So I just had an hour and a half long interview with some people interviewing me about the Victoria's Voice Foundation, about our Victoria's Voice book, and also about the Princess of Versailles, the movie that I made about losing our daughter and how it affected us and our family. So if anyone wants to see the Princess of Versailles movie, they can go to therealqueenofversailles.com and they can click on the Princess of Versailles, but it's also on YouTube. My YouTube channel is The Real Queen of Versailles, but if you're watching this, you're already on there, so you're the bomb, and I love you.
You should go back home, go back home, go back home, go. It's been there all along.
Look at the spread they're giving us, oh my God. So much for being on a diet.
Well, I'll stand next to you and make you look thin.
So Mitch and Bish, they're my two favorites.
How you doing?
Are you gonna be in the party tomorrow?
I'm gonna be at the party
40
tomorrow.
years?
The 50-year anniversary of,
I'm 40.
you're 40 years
One
here.
of the 40.
I'm one of
So-
the new guys, only 30.
Only 30 years, yeah. And I've only been here, what, 15? We'll see you later.
See you later. Take care.
Another visit,
Yes,
another chance to save some lives.
yes.
All right, David, we gotta hurry.
You don't need me, but I'm
Oh, good. Of course I need you. I need you for moral support. I can't wait. We're going to be on TV in like half an hour. Talking about Victoria's Voice and the drug epidemic. Ready, honey? Okay.
Nice to meet you again, sir.
Gordon Prouty. Gordon to see you.
Nice to meet you again.
Hi, I'm
Hi.
Mina.
Mina?
Nice to meet you.
If you folks will follow me, we'll
Okay.
head out near the studio and stay in here until it's time to come out. We're going to be interviewing you guys in our 6:30 half hour, so you got a little bit of time. Can I get anybody anything? Waters, anything?
I'm good right now.
Okay.
It's about, how long do we have? Like,
You probably got about 45 minutes now.
oh, we're really early.
So.
And David's like yelling, we're going to be late, we're going to
Yeah.
be late.
I mean, it
Hey,
won't
we're
be.
early.
They'll take you out before that, so I'll let production know.
That
They'll
we're-
probably.
okay.
We'll probably start getting you set up maybe 10 minutes beforehand.
Okay.
So.
It has been 13 years ago. He was 4 years old. Yeah, and I know what it's like to try to turn your horrible pain into some purpose, to try to survive. So.
Port, Massachusetts. Jay Gray has our update tonight. Police and the heartache of tragic loss once again surround the Kennedy family compound.
And that brings us right into tonight's edition of Nevada Addicted. We are so honored tonight to be joined by Jackie and David Siegel, and they have a story to tell. They've lost a loved one, their daughter Victoria.
Victoria, beautiful gal, had life by the tail, went into the spiral of addiction, and you lost her, and you are turning your pain into purpose. What needs to happen for families who are dealing with this very thing?
Well, one thing, they need to buy the book that we came out with called Victoria's Voice. Half of it is her diary. It shows how she went from a beautiful, fun-loving 14-year-old until she became 18 and died of a drug overdose. But also, they need to drug test their children, because even though it takes tough love, even though the children will say, oh, I'd never use drugs, half of them are. And best example, I just told a woman recently to do it, and she said, oh, my kid, my son would never do drugs. She went home, she drug tested him, found out that he was doing drugs, not only marijuana. You know, most of the kids start with marijuana at 14, 15, and then that's the gateway drug to heroin and cocaine and prescription drugs. But she had no idea until she drug tested him.
We want to start with the information as a parent, so you can go from there. Jackie, this is a very personal book. A lot of it is your daughter's entries in her diary as you watched her go through bouts of depression and some troubles.
Right.
Can you tell us more about that?
Well, before she died of her drug overdose, she had sent a text to a friend in the event that she knew she was playing with like Russian roulette with the drugs. And after she passed away, her friend gave me her dying wish that I publish her journal to in hopes to let other teenagers know that they're not alone with the peer pressure or depression and turning to drugs. And it's pure, it's raw, it's direct copies of her diary, unedited, and it's taken me 4 years to actually get the strength as a parent to share her diary. And when I found out that more people are dying today than 4 years ago when she died, I had to come out and do this service to the country.
The book contains all the information that I learned in the last 4 years. 4 years ago, I was the most ignorant person in the world in regards to drugs. I thought drug addicts lived under bridges and slept in park benches, but I found that the more affluent the family is, the more chance their children are doing drugs.
And we should say, just quickly, we were looking at pictures of your family. You guys own Westgate Resorts, the Westgate here in town, so yeah, it can hit any family.
And parents are the front line in this war. How do you start a conversation with your child when already kids don't think we're very cool when they're teenagers? How do you break into that and have that conversation?
I know, it's tough love.
It takes tough love. But let me tell you, tonight you led off with the story about the Kennedy child, and it's all over the news, it's all over the TV, you know. 200 people died today from a drug overdose. 200 died yesterday, 200 will die tomorrow, every single day. You don't hear a word. There's not a word until a celebrity dies, and it's very unfortunate. I don't want anybody to die. You don't hear anything about it. I mean, there's a stigma to drug use, but parents have to know. They have to know what their kids are doing. They have to know what their kids' friends are doing. And they all start. Every drug addict starts with marijuana at 14, 15, and it leads to eventually heroin or cocaine or some other.
From there. Well, David and Jackie, thank you for what you're doing, for giving other parents this book as a guide for what you went through. And I'll tell you, we're doing our best here as a station to stay on top of this. This is an ongoing series.
The information in this book will save a life.
Victoria's Voice, and you can also watch a documentary they put out called The Princess of Versailles. It's on YouTube. It doesn't cost you anything. You'll get to see their daughter and see the aftermath of what this is for a family. Thank you so much for being here. Bless you.
And to David's point, our special series.
Let's tell them what we just did.
We just did an interview on Channel 3, Las Vegas, about the drug epidemic and how our book, Victoria's Voice, could save a lot of lives. People need to read it and have their children read it, pass it on to other families. The information in the book, well, if I had had it 4 years ago, my daughter would still be alive today.
Thank you. I'm so lucky that I've got David, you know, the love and support of my husband with my mission of saving lives too. Here we are at Westgate Resorts. We're celebrating the 50th year anniversary of the resort being here in Las Vegas. And we're taking advantage of all the people here in town by spreading the word about our Victoria's Voice Foundation, Victoria's Voice book, and really trying to save the lives of many people that are addicted to drugs, and I'm really happy to be here. Oh, here comes my wonderful husband. This is the 50th year anniversary.
Wow.
50 years ago. David came here. Tell him the quick story.
I was just born 50 years ago.
You know, the first time he came here, he couldn't afford to stay at this resort.
First anniversary, 49 years ago. Couldn't afford to stay, and 44 years later, I bought the hotel.
Go figure. It's a rags to riches story.
That's the American dream.
Yes.
And I thought, okay, the best way to do this is to, first of all, engage everybody, entertain everyone. That takes us through the powerful statements that were made. I'm going to take a little bit of license, but I've been going through the book and...
Okay, so what we're doing today is my husband and I and our committee for the Victoria's Voice charity event that we're throwing in October. We're having a production meeting, we're having a silent auction meeting, and we're doing some basic planning and talking about what celebrities are going to be there. So this is like, this event is actually happening, and we are just so excited. The community is getting involved, and the drug czar is planning on coming. So this is going to be a real special event that kind of is going to introduce people to the Victoria's Voice Foundation and talk about the addiction that people have that are killing them. And it's going to be more spectacular than you can ever imagine. And I already heard that there's a lot of press people that are going to be there that want to cover the event. I really think it's going to be a nationwide story, and I'm very grateful for that. And I really love Victoria, and I know she's going to be looking down on us. We're going to do a possible butterfly release, and if not that, then we're going to do butterfly confetti at the event, and it's going to be top-notch, first class, and I'm excited. It's going to happen.